let's get into a little bit of a creepy, disturbing piece today. I'm trying this Passtime brand that I got for $8 from just from a cheap shop that's here locally. And I thought, hey, watercolor paper for $8, I'll give it a whirl. Anyway, let me just tell you a little bit more about that paper later on in this video. But today's piece that I have done is called Tortured Heart. And I ended up really struggling with the body of this. I had a sketch down in my sketchbook of this, and sketches to me are just so much better and I can always seem to do really, really well. So I got my modeling doll out and I sort of put the doll into a few positions and tried to get a pose that I was happy with, but I don't know, I really, really did struggle, and I rubbed this out quite a few times, but once I get it right, I really do like this illustration. It is quite a disturbing one, but it is also very, I don't know, it's okay. That's all I can think of. So the story behind this illustration is, as humans, we tend to go through a lot of pain, and this doesn't exclude anyone on this planet. We all go through things, and a lot of people go through different variations of complete shit than other people. And what this portrays is some people have been through some traumatic things, and they are dealing with it on a daily basis, and it really does control their life and really does suck the life force out of them. So that is what this is all about, is you've got this heart that is, you've got this person's chest and it's cut open, and you've got this heart sitting there, and there's all these like not arm things, but all these like tentacle type things coming out, and they've got these big sharp teeth, and they're sucking onto the brain and different parts of the body, just to represent that, the traumatic things that people can go through on a daily basis. It controls their life, and it causes pain, and it affects their brain. They can't function, or it's, there's certain other areas that are painful in their body that things can affect. But what it is just this can control people, and it's quite it's quite a sad thing for us humans to go through, when we can feel all this pain and feel all this terrible stuff that can happen to you in this world. And it's just, this is such a generalized thing. Like, I'm not pointing at any particular areas. This covers a vast range of topics for people. So yeah, everyone goes through a lot of things differently, and and a lot of people cope with things differently and have different levels of trauma, or are going through horrendous things. And in the end, it takes a toll. It really does take a toll on you. I really enjoyed doing this piece. I've been, like I've said in the last video, I've been really enjoying my art lately, and I've been quite happy with it, and I have learned a lot of things over the last month with Inktober that sort of allowed me to progress more in my watercolor And yeah, that's been a good thing. It's definitely been a good thing, and it's been really good to get back into watercolor. I've still got a lot of things to learn. Yeah, I still have a lot of bad habits, but hey, don't we all? And yeah, just a lot of it I've got to try and sort of control a bit with my art, but I don't know, a lot of it I am, you know, I can't let go of it. I can't let go of some of the bad habits that I do. But I don't know, when it comes to art, I don't think there is a right or wrong way to do anything. It's just, you know, just execute it the way that you want to execute it, and if it looks great, then hey, who cares how you did it? As far as I'm concerned. Now, to this paper, it's rubbish. It's rubbish. I knew that right from the start when I bought it for $8. I'm not silly. I knew it was going to be rubbish, but hey, I wanted to try it because it was an interesting texture. It's kind of like a turtle shell type texture, which is very interesting. Kind of like a lizard or something like with those sort of that sort of patterns on it. And you can see in certain angles, like right now on the in the illustration there on that paper, that's the kind of texture. It is kind of like a really sort of crocodile-y type texture. So yeah, it didn't affect me in any way to do the illustration. The pens didn't you know, didn't go all funny and bumpy over it, but yeah, it sort of started to pill. Like, I couldn't go over certain sections with a lot of watercolor. If I tried to layer, it started to come up and sort of really pill, like the Marty cheap ass watercolor paper that I have. So yeah, it's I think in future I'll just use this for illustrations or something that I don't really care too much about, maybe. But yeah, like I have said again in past videos, I don't like to go out and buy expensive art supplies. I like to keep it quite cheap as possible, but still have that quality look. Because I like to do art on a budget. I feel as though you don't need top-end art supplies to get a pretty alright result. You can still get a pretty good result with your student grade or your base grade supplies. But yeah, when it sort of starts getting into the real rubbish of the rubbish art supplies, then that sort of starts to affect your work. Then I draw the line at that. Like, this paper didn't affect the illustration in any way, but like just layering watercolor on it, and it didn't do it for all sections. It was only just at the bottom of her leg for some reason. That little patch there was like pretty bad, but layering the watercolor onto the other sections seemed to be okay. I don't know. It's just one of those mysteries in life that will never be solved. So yeah, we're nearing to the end of this illustration now, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. And yeah, just remember that there's people out there that are going through different levels of you know, shit in their life. So before you sort of fly off the handle at somebody, just remember that they could be going through something and you don't even know what they're going through. You know, everyone's dealing with something. You know, you very rarely sort of glide through life having a pretty good run. There is always something to worry about, and there's always something to completely get upset about. And yeah, it's just part of life. And yeah, it sort of does worry you at times to think about. Like, I know it does with me. And sometimes it's something that you can think about late at night, and it can keep you up. And yeah, it's just that's being a human being. Unfortunately, it's one of the many things about being a human being. So yeah, that's not as happy of an illustration this time, but most of my illustrations are not that happy. But this one's particularly not overly joyful, And yeah, it's just about people who you know, they're just going through some stuff, and we just got to help each other and not be so hard on one another, because you just don't know what they're going through. Anyway, I'm out of here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.